My name is Nola Feeney. I'm the Heritage Officer with Roscommon County Council, and I want to talk you through our the Roscommon Cemeteries Mapviewer. Okay, so it's found on the Roscommon County Council website, roscommoncoco.ie. So you go to Community Arts and Heritage, and go to Heritage, and just scroll down to Graveyards and Cemeteries, and then there click on County Roscommon Cemeteries. So click on that and wait for it to load. So this is our Cemeteries Mapviewer. This little eye box over here kind of explains what it's all about. Okay, get that go away. Now, County Roscommon Cemeteries, it's a central point of information on all cemeteries in the county. So we want it to tell you where all the cemeteries are, who owns them, if they're protected under the National Monuments Act or not, if there's protected structures in it or not, if there's a register of burials, if there's any other information that we can find, such as an archaeological survey, a historical article, a conservation report, inscriptions, anything else. So scroll down through the map viewer, and if there's any other information for the cemetery, it should be available here. Some cemeteries have been recorded, have had their inscriptions recorded. Some are available online, some aren't. So we will link them in here where possible. The most important thing is, if you know of any information we can add or link to this map viewer, please email heritage@roscommoncoco.ie, and we'd only be delighted to update the map viewer. Just to say that this project was funded by the Heritage Council, and the bulk of the research for this project was carried out by Jim Ganley, and we're hugely appreciative to both of them for this. Okay, so to talk you through, there's two ways of searching for the graveyards. There's over 200 graveyards in the county, so you can search. They're listed here all in alphabetical order, or you can search in the box. Now, I find the spelling can be very variable. There's local spelling, there's traditional spelling, there's official spelling. So I find it easier to use the search here, because you might be spelling it one way, it might be listed here a different way, but I think it's just easier to use. So for today, we're going to take the example of Kilglass Graveyard. Okay, so we click on Kilglass. So here pops up our little information box. And we'll just make the map a bit bigger here so we can see it. Okay, here we go. You can see that it's highlighted there on the map of the county. Make it a bit bigger again, just so we can see where Kilglass Graveyard is. Hang on a second now. There we go. So we can see the Kilglass Graveyard is here. It's the little cross is highlighted. All right. So before we get into Kilglass Graveyard, I just want to explain to you some additional functionality that this map viewer has. Okay, so there's Kilglass Graveyard. Okay, you see those four little squares there? They give us the base map gallery. So this is a feature that you just might find interesting. Just allow it to load. I'll just make it. I'll move this out of the way and make our map a little bit bigger. Okay, so again, there's Kilglass Graveyard. Kilglass Graveyard. Okay, right. So what you're looking at there is the present day, modern day map of it. But I find it very interesting to look up the 25-inch historic map. So we click on that, and we wait for it to load, and we just have to zoom in a little bit more to get the full 25-inch map in all its glorious detail. So that's the 25-inch map. They're roughly about 100 years old, so it's a nice picture of what the graveyard looked like 100 years ago or thereabouts. This is the historic 6-inch map. Those 6-inch maps date from around 1837, and that's showing you the graveyard on the 1837 map. We have the digital globe, which is the modern aerial photography, so that's very handy, I think, to give you an idea of the lie of the land around the graveyard that you're interested in. And then the discovery map, these are maps that you might be using if you're driving around and you're trying to find where you're going. You have to zoom out for them. They're at a scale of 1:50,000, and you can get an idea then of where the graveyard is, and you know what roads will bring you down to it. That's available for all the graveyards in the county. So again, we're taking our example of Kilglass Graveyard. Right, so for every graveyard in the map viewer, we have a listing, just a sort of basic information: the name of the graveyard, the townland, the denomination, RC in this instance is Roman Catholic. If it's dedicated to a saint, the owner, Some are owned by the Roscommon County Council, as this one is. Some aren't. This graveyard is still open. We'll give the name of the Catholic parish, the civil parish, Catholic diocese. Scroll down for more information. Oh, excuse me. The date of opening, the new part of this graveyard opened in 1964, gives a description of the graveyard. Is there a place of worship attached? In this instance, there isn't a church attached. This graveyard is protected under the National Monuments Act, so there's the National Monuments reference for it. There's no protected structures under the Planning Acts in this graveyard. It's not on the National Inventory of Architectural Heritage. Then the caretaker, in this instance, that's really the person who organises the management of the burial plots, the newer burial plots. Their name and address is given. Contact details for the clergy are given for each graveyard. Moving down further, is there a register of burials? Yes. It's in this instance in Kilglass. It starts in 1964, so it only deals with the new graveyard. That can be found with the caretaker, and some other notes about the history of the graveyard. So where this information exists for any graveyard in the county, we will have it there. Now, what I think really adds value to this map viewer are these related tables down the bottom here, the associated maps. So if you just click on that and click again on more info, it just gives you a kind of an overview of what other graveyards are in the parish. Because if you're abroad and you're trying to figure out where your relatives are buried, there could be a few graveyards in the parish, and it's just helpful to know where they are in relation to each other. So we can X out of that. It brings us back to the map viewer. Use the back arrow, back again. Now we can look at, scroll down, it just reverts back, scroll down. It shows us, brings us to the associated photos. So we can click on the photos. We have 3 photographs here for Kilglass. So that just gives you an idea of the original, of the entrance to the old part of the graveyard. Go back, click on another photograph. That gives us an overview of the graveyard. Just go back again, there we go. Third photo that we have for Kilglass, again another overview of the graveyard. So we have like that photographs for every graveyard in the county, just general overview to give you an idea of the run of it. Use the back arrow again, scroll down, right down we go again. Here we go, associated web links. Now this is the thing that really I hope you might find useful about this map viewer. Okay, so for the Kilglass graveyard we found 4 different associated things that we think might be of interest. Okay, the first one, just wait for it to load, are memorial inscriptions that were combined by M. Faulkner under RSS, a project carried out in 2005. So that's a Word document that we've scanned and we've been able to upload into the map viewer. So we can just scroll down through that and it just gives a tight listing of the graves that were identified as part of that survey and the inscriptions for them. So that's what that is. So again, that's helpful for people that are trying to find out if there's anyone of their family name in the grave, buried in the graveyard. Okay, so we X out of that and we go back and we try the next related record to see what that is. In this instance, it links us to a website called Historic Graves. Kilglass Graveyard is on that, has been surveyed and is up on that website, which is a great website. So a general overview of the graveyard, and here we have the inscriptions. So this is a website where Kilglass Graveyard has actually had its inscriptions recorded and uploaded onto this website. So you can see there, you can get a closer look at the picture. You can scroll down, and in this instance we have the memorial, the number of people and the details, and I think the inscription is there as well. There we go, there's the exact wording of the epitaph that's on that particular memorial. So we have that for most of the memorials in Kilglass Graveyard on that website, so we've linked that website into our map viewer. We went searching to see what else we could find on Kilglass Graveyard. There are records on a website called interment.net, so we've linked that into the map viewer. Just scroll down there and you can see what's on that. So these are just sort of other websites that we found that had information relating to Kilglass. And the final link that we found for Kilglass was another website called FromIreland.net, And again, similar to that, there's information there and there's photographs there. So all these sources that we could find relating to Kilglass graveyard have been linked into our Cemeteries Map Viewer under related records. So that gives us an overview of what the graveyard is. Don't be afraid to click on it. So just for comparison purposes, we'll take another example of another graveyard. This time we'll search for it using the box there. Bumlin, I said that wrong, B-U-M-L-I-N. Bumlin graveyard is just another graveyard we'll take just for example purposes. So we've clicked on the map and we move that out of the way. We can see that this graveyard is just outside Strokestown off the N5. We can bring up the digital globe there just to get an idea, and you can see that this graveyard is in the middle of a field. So it's just another example. So again, the similar information is set out there as for Kilglass. All the information on, is it on the Monuments Act, is there caretaker, is it open, is it closed, any other information we could find relating to the graveyard, the maps, the photographs, similar to what we've just seen for Kilglass. In this instance, we click on the associated web links, there's no related links found. So I just wanted to show you that we have lots of information for some graveyards, we have very little information for other graveyards, but that's just the way it is. And we very much welcome any information that you might know of that we can add to the map viewer. That's a general overview of the Roscommon Cemeteries Map Viewer and what it can do and how you can help us. Again, add more information to it. Just email heritage@roscommoncoco.ie. I hope you find that helpful. Thank you very much.